Conservative leader Andrew Scheer defending his party's stance on LGBTQ rights. Welcome to Project Fear. Now, this is the oldest strategy in the political playbook. You accuse the opposition of some wicked hidden agenda in order to suppress their vote. Liberals accuse conservatives of wanting to reopen the abortion debate, despite Mr. Scheer's denials. Conservatives say the liberal carbon tax is taking money from your pocket, but they never mention the rebate. The NDP just accused the Greens of accepting racist former NDP members. The Greens, as you saw Elizabeth May earlier, deny that. So how will campaigns deal with these attacks? What's going to stick? What might become a ballot box question? Let's bring in MPs to find out. Pam Damoff is a Liberal MP for Ontario. Stella Ambler is a Conservative candidate in Ontario. Brian Masse is an Ontario NDP MP and candidate. Welcome to the program. Pam Damoff, let me start with you, and we'll start on these social conservative issues, because Andrew Scheer has said repeatedly, I will not reopen the abortion debate. I know his personal beliefs may not be on the ballot. They're not. He says it's the same as the Harper years. Why is your party trying to make this an election issue?
Well, you and I have talked about this before, actually, Evan, and this is such an important issue. And the Conservative leader, Andrew Scheer, refuses to say that he will stand up for a women's reproductive rights. It doesn't have to just be by legislation. There are things that a government can do when it comes to abortion and access to abortion that is, and he refuses to say, you know, it's very clear, and it's such an important issue to ensure that women have access to safe and legal abortions.
Well, he said, okay, but he said nothing's going to change. Stella Ambler, let me just go to you on this.
Well, he didn't, Evan, he didn't say that, though. He didn't say nothing would change. He said he would uphold the law. But there are a lot of things you can do that are not included in the law that will restrict women's access to abortion.
Stella Ambler, jump in on that. Not only on the abortion issue, but on your leader's stance on LGBTQ issues, on same-sex marriage. The guy's not marching in a gay pride parade. I don't understand why he's not doing that. He won't apologize for comparing same-sex marriage to the leg of a dog back in 2005. Why not? Why not just deal with this stuff?
Yeah, he has dealt with it. In fact, He's answered all of these fear-mongering scare tactics that the Liberals are putting forward. And, you know, honestly, Evan, let's just see this for what it is. It's the Liberals trying to distract from their record from 4 years of failure. They want to talk about these issues because they don't want to be talking about what they've done for 4 years. They don't want to be talking about what Canadians, what voters are talking about and what they care about. And we're doing exactly that. We're talking about what voters want to hear. They want to hear that we're going to try to make their lives better, that we're going to lower their taxes.
I appreciate that,
Liberals
but
don't want to talk about any of that.
You're going to be accused of doing this. I'm just wondering, does Mr. Scheer have to be more clear on all these issues? And again, there have been questions about his position on same-sex marriage. I understand he says, "Oh, I respect the law."
So I actually think he couldn't. Right. I don't think he could be more clear. In fact, he's answering all the questions. He's said, look, these issues are settled. The Conservatives will always stand up for human rights and will not accept intolerance of any kind toward any human beings. You know, this is really, it is all about the Liberals trying to make this what the election is all about. And they're not succeeding because this is not what people are talking about at the doors. My team and I have not done...
Brian Masse, can you, are these fair accusations? Is this Project Fear that the Liberals are trolling the Conservatives on this to distract, or do you think these are legitimate issues?
Well, I think they are obviously brought up in timing as to heighten the issue, but they are real because they are words and expressions that have taken place in the Conservative Party over not just a number of months, but already been systematic part of the party problem that they've had. And to this day, they still have some issues with some dog whistle politics that still are involved. And I come from the party of Tommy Douglas, who brought in the first legislation in North America to fight racism, sexism, in a number of different things. And we take this not only to heart because it takes leadership to make sure that, you know, say for example, even through private members' bills and other things that emerge, is that you're always working on equity, gender, and other issues for populations that are at risk. And you don't see that really emerging through the Conservative Party. And that's where the you get the kind of the difference is that it becomes something I have to defend and explain versus it's just part of our everyday operations and organization.
So let me just go back to Pam Damoff. Look, we've gone over this thing. Is this a classic Liberal playbook? Don't vote for the Conservatives. There's going to be massive cuts, and they're going to go back and take your abortion rights away. Mr. Scheer continually denies all that. So what gives the Liberals the justification to keep pressing on this stuff?
Well, Evan, there's a clear choice here between the Liberals and the Conservatives on these issues. And if you look at what Conservative governments are doing, look at Ontario, where efficiencies equal cuts. We look at investments in public education, they look at cuts to public education. So there's a certain mentality in the Conservative Party that it's important to cut. And when it comes to abortion, again, if you go to Ontario, Sam Oosterhoff has said that we will make abortion unthinkable in our lifetime. I'd ask Ms. Ambler, you stood at a rally in Ottawa in 2013 and said it was a great day. Will you ensure that there are no private members' bills?
But to be fair, those are Ontario Conservatives. That's not Andrew Scheer's. Okay, go ahead, Stella.
Well, but Ms. Ambler, stood on the Hill.
I belong to a Conservative Party that allows not only its membership, but it's members of Parliament to take whatever positions they feel are right for them. Unlike the Liberals, whose MPs are told what to think. Absolutely not. That is absolutely not true.
Okay, I got a minute here.
I think you know it's not.
Can I just
hang
on? Hang on, I just want, because I got a minute here, I want to just ask Mr. Masse, there's one Project Fear that goes to your party, the NDP, which is to vote for the NDP is a wasted vote. The Liberals will say that you don't have enough money, your support is bleeding, so don't vote for the NDP. How are you going to counter that?
Yeah, first of all, when the Liberals say they're going to do something like with regards to equity and they don't do it, it actually can be worse in many respects because you lead people down a path and then nothing changes and it really disingenuously takes the movement away. But with regards to that, listen, we have veterans, including some of my family members, who fought for the right to vote. And every single vote that we have in this election, especially when we have an election where we have a diverse group of candidates across our country, is an important vote for democracy. So people should really reject that notion. Every vote is precious. Every vote should always, in my opinion, go to what you believe in, to make change that is real, to make change that you feel is comfortable for you and your family. Unfortunately,
I got to leave it there. We're going to have lots of these over the campaign. Pam Damoff, Stella, Ambler, and Brian Masse, thank you so much for joining us. I always appreciate seeing you, and we'll see lots more of them.